Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of Choke Point. I'm Simon.
I'm Pete.
And as we said, 6 minutes on the clock. So, Pete, welcome back. Got the blue belt. How do you feel?
The same as I did last week. Look, I got my blue belt. It's a fantastic feeling. It's awesome. A few of the other guys I've been training with, we've all sort of started together our wave, are all slowly starting to get promoted. Look, it's an awesome feeling to know that you've stepped up a little bit, but at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet. You don't have that leeway of blaming your bad performance on your white belt anymore. Now you kind of got to be a little bit better at what you do and pay a bit more attention. And I spoke to one of the other guys, and I was worried that I was being paranoid, but no, the other high belts are definitely all going a lot harder on us now. So the most interesting thing is getting your blue belt kind of feels like your first day on white belt all over again. But you just know a tiny little bit more than you did. But that's irrelevant because when the high belts start going a lot harder, everything goes out your head. Simon got his purple belt not long ago. In December. So we both kind of jumped up in rank in the last 6 months or so. Simon's risen to the occasion. I've only been a blue belt for less than a week, so we'll see.
And you're doing good so far. Might I mention there is the dreaded blue belt curse. You can see Pete is still here. He didn't disappear last week. He didn't quit. He didn't leave. Thanos didn't snap his finger and he did not turn to ash. He is still here. You're a living survivor of the blue belt. Congratulations. Now, what's your next step? What are you going to focus on in the next couple of months?
Next couple of months, I need to slowly work on a little bit more control, a little bit less panic. After a certain amount of time, you don't spaz out as much as you did as a white belt, but you're still not as calm as you would like to be. And that's where I think things come undone for guys with my level of experience, that you've got all the best intentions, but you miss the steps in between because you're rushing or you're worried about the next step that you miss something. So that's something I want to focus on, is making sure from step 1 to step 3 is all done. I had one of the high belts mention to me the other day that every single move or every single sequence can be broken down into 3 parts. And I need to work on the middle part. So 1 and 3 are cool, part 2, not so good. So that's going to be my focus probably for the next 6 months or so. And slowly just working to getting my game a little bit better. I'm a top player, so passing guard's probably a good one to practice.
Nothing wrong with being on top. Also, with you and your injuries, are you going to try and take some time off to get them healed? Because that is something that is a big concern for a lot of us. I think you were saying earlier, Sarosh, he's currently injured.
He's currently injured. He injured himself playing soccer.
But with you being injured and obviously being blue belt, now that you know you've got to work on your game plan, are you going to take any time off? Are you actually going to listen to any doctor's advice and not our advice of, it's all good, it's all good?
I listen to my physician's advice, but I think rolling sensibly is probably more the way that I'm going to go about it rather than just stopping altogether. Everyone knows that fitness is very hard to get back once you lose it, so rolling a little bit lighter, rolling a bit more with technique, which is a kind of good thing. I think it's the upside of being injured because you're forced to use technique, where I might throw my weight around. I've got a bad shoulder at the moment, so I've got to be really careful with what I do. So technically I've lost 1/4 of my upper body already, so I need to learn how to compensate for that by using other methods and other techniques, not just smashing past people like I normally do. There's my little saying that, pain is temporary, jiu-jitsu is forever. To an extent that's true, but if you do permanent damage, you can't roll anymore. So just be a little bit cautious. I've also got a bad knee. I mentioned recently that...
So if anyone's watching this and they do want to roll with Pete next, you know what you're looking for now.
I am the Gracie Barra Hornsby always injured guy. And I think everyone knows this because I'm quite vocal about my injuries all the time.
I think we all have to be Jimmy Hornsby's spokesmodel in some way. I'm the ambassador, you're the injured...
I'm the injured guy.
Injured all.
But in all seriousness, look after yourselves, guys. I mean, look, I am injured. The injuries, I'll say, were jiu-jitsu related, but they've gotten worse over time purely because I'm not being sensible. Professor yells at me all the time to not roll, to roll light. Even tonight with Simon, all he said, watch out for your shoulder, was what I could hear from the sideline. So, know your limits. I think Simon mentioned this today. Simon, we can carry on with the know your limits part that you're talking about.
Yeah, with your limits, we all know that there's two different mindsets. You've got how you physically feel and how you mentally feel. I know we do have 40 seconds to wrap this up, but I will just say this: just because you feel like you're exhausted and you feel like you can't give in, regardless if this is you at work at 11 o'clock at night and you still have 2 hours to go, or you've got like 5 minutes into a 6-minute roll, don't give up. It's your flight or fight, and at that time, that's when you're going to be at your best. That's where you're going to need to know what.
And that small moment in time is where you grow.
Yeah. So all I can say is just know your limits. If you physically can't and you feel like you are going to break, stop. Breathe and think about what you're going to do. Because we don't want you injured, we don't want you going away in a bad mood. But once you're where you need to be, you need to be focused. If you lose focus, you'll just go each direction and lose it. I know what it's like to work long hours back to back. I know what it's like to come in after being awake, from 4 o'clock in the morning up until it's now almost 9 o'clock at night. I know what it's like, but we have to keep our focus. That is what we do. We need to make a name for ourselves, but you can't do it if you're not here or you're not where you're supposed to be. Think about what you're doing this for and keep your focus. Because no matter who you're going up against, they can be beaten. Look for that opportunity, learn from it if you can't, and then do it again. With that, we've run out of time. I've been Simon.
I've been Pete.
Thanks for joining us again. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Be safe, everyone. Us.